All right, this is going to be the second part of this trig review. Hoping to try and finish this by tomorrow. And then next week on Monday and Tuesday, we're going to start doing the mock exam. Hopefully Monday, Tuesday. It is going to be, like 40 questions. But again, I've told you, it is going to be really close to what your actual exam is going to be. Twice, away and away. All right, so on this one, which has an equivalent value to the sine of negative pi over 3? So now, if I have my reference sheet, that is also my unit circle. So from there, if I go down pi over 3, that'd be the same as doing a coterminal, right? Yes. Coterminal. So I would add, if it's in radian, I'm going to add how much? Nope, radian is how much?
2 pi.
2 pi.
Yeah, 2 pi.
So I'm going to add 2 pi. Thank you. Okay. So adding 2 pi to get a coterminal of this is going to give me where? Where is it going to put on my unit circle? No, it's not going to be 0. Can I do that on my calculator?
Yes.
Yes. But what was the trick to doing in the calculator?
You gotta force it to degree, right?
No. Remember, if you're doing it, leave off the pi, right? Because it's everything's in terms of pi. So it's negative 1 over 3 plus 2 is going to give me.
You put sign on it or no sign?
No, just the symbol, or just the value, just the angle.
Sine is defined on the unit circle.
What is it?
Sine is defined on the unit circle.
5 pi over 3. That's what I've been saying. So this is going to end up, if you do the math, you get 5 over 3, right? So add that pi back onto it, so it's going to be 5 pi over 3. So now if you're finding 5 pi over 3 on my unit circle, it's asking for the sine value.
Negative rad 3 over 2.
Negative rad 3 over 2. So negative rad 3 over 2. So now we could actually do all of these the same way. Okay, we could actually look, all right. So let's see, so at pi over 3, at pi over 3 on my unit circle, that's going to be 1/2, right? And there's a minus sign on the outside. So is that going to be equivalent to my same answer? That's going to give me negative 1/2, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So what about cosine of pi over 3? That's just going to be 1/2, isn't it? Because that's all my unit circle. Okay, so now pi over 3 on my unit circle for part C, pi over 3 is going to be rad 3 over 2, right? But now there's a negative out front of it. So that makes it a negative rad 3 over 2, right? Negative rad 3 over 2. So is C equivalent to my answer?
Yes.
C is. Now, okay, like I taught you guys, there's a nice trick to this in the calculator. You just got to know your calculator. So now, change your calculator to radian, please. Change it to radian.
What's radian for?
It is a 5200 degree, basically. It's a more precise versus.
So I give you all the time?
No, it's a 5200 thing. I used it in military. It was like air defense.
Okay.
Like artillery and stuff like that. So it gives you more exact answer instead of saying degrees, minutes, seconds. Do you hear me? Instead of saying degrees, minutes, seconds, it gives you a more exact answer. So it's like the whole thing's 5200. So if I say my angle is supposed to be 2230, so it would be more exact where it's going to be instead of so many degrees, so many minutes, so many seconds. Does that make better sense?
So it's only really useful if you're doing military training?
That's the only time I've actually even encountered it.
Oh, so this is one of those things where it's irrelevant in the future.
Depending on what you're doing. Like I didn't know what it was until I actually got taught it. So when I was in the military. Okay. Anyway, so if you're in radian, so you're gonna put sine negative pi over 3 in your calculator. What do you get?
0.866.
You said 0.866.
Negative.
Negative
0.866.
Okay. Negative 0.866, and then plug in each one into the calculator. Plug in each one to the calculator.
Oh, you just go with which one that matches.
Yep, which one matches? So it is going to end up being C, doing the exact same thing.
You know how to eliminate it even more? So where you only have to put 2 in? Just put the, instead of doing all 4 of them, if they're exactly the same and you do cosine pi over 3, you don't have to do the negative because it'll give you the same number, but it'll be a negative in front of it.
For real?
Yeah,
Oh God.
but you would have to be able to think beyond just basic math.
Yeah.
So let's not do that. Let's let everyone actually, unless you fully understand it, don't try and cheat yourself.
I understand.
Okay.
8 of them.
Okay, let's take a look right here, please. Okay, on this thing it says, if you begin with Pythagorean Theorem of sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1, and you divide both sides by cosine squared, which identity do you get? So, I'm going to go back to the x and y's that I did a long time ago. Sine was y squared, right?
Yes.
So, y squared plus cosine, which is
X squared.
x squared equals
0.
1. 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to divide everything, and what was cosine squared, right? That was just my x, right?
Yeah.
So divide everything by x squared. So it's going to be y squared over x squared plus x squared over x squared equals 1 over x squared, right?
That one is secant.
Okay, let's take a look. What is y over x?
One.
Tangent.
Tangent.
Oh, yeah.
Y over x is tangent, so it's tangent squared. X squared over x squared is
1.
1, and then 1 over x squared is secant. So which one of those is this going to be?
A.
A. Questions?
You can even put it in the calculator guide to get the answer.
Ah, no.
No.
No. Okay, what's the multiplication of the expression of cotangent sine? Now, again with my x's and y's, right? Cotangent is what over what?
X over Y.
X over y. So let's do x over y times, what's sine?
Y over R.
Y over r, and in this case r is always
1.
very good. So what's going to happen?
Cross multiply.
Cross multiply.
Not cross multiply,
Y is
Just
gonna
cancel
cancel.
cancel, right? So when I'm multiplying, I'm going to cancel, so I'm left with
X over 1.
x over 1, which is
Cosine.
cosine. Man, it's almost like you guys learned something.
Is it really?
I know, I'm so proud of you.
I thought it was showing some of our test quizzes, you know.
Imagine if we saw it
Okay, next one. Use identities to rewrite the expression. Now, okay, this is on your, listen please.
Unit circle.
No. This is on your reference sheet. Please find this on the reference sheet because I want you to look carefully at your reference sheet and find this. You're trying to find it to say sine, cosine, minus cosine, sine.
identity.
What is it?
It's a Pythagorean identity.
Nope. It's an addition or a subtraction, right?
Oh.
So this is going to be a sine of, it's A minus B. So I want you guys to find that on your thing. Find it on your reference sheet because this thing all going together is going to be like that.
Oh, here it is. I found it.
Yeah, so it's sine, cosine with a minus sign. When we were going through this unit, I would actually refer to it like that all the time. Sine, cosine, minus sign, right? Because the sine is the one that keeps the sign. The cosine changes it, right?
Yeah.
The cosine is the one that has it makes the opposite symbol. So now this is basically saying I'm going to have sine of A, which is 5 pi over 12 minus pi over 4. Do my math, so that's going to be 3. So it is sine of 2 pi over 12, which is sine at pi over 6, which gives me 1/2.
How do you get 12?
Okay, so now, see this where it says 5 pi over 12?
Yeah.
Okay, so now, what's the common denominator in between 4 and 12?
12.
Say 12.
12.
12, right?
Wow, that really just happened.
I know it did. Okay, so it's 12, right? So now from here, I need to multiply. Congrats to Angel, Cosmos, and Harman.
For what?
I don't know. Get over here. Grab these. Thank you. All right, so look. My common denominator. Hey, Herman, pay attention. This is your question. So, common denominator is 12. So it's basically saying 5 pi over 12 minus, and multiply by 3 over 3, right?
Oh, okay.
3 pi over 12.
Really? Really? Come on, Lily.
It's been a long day.
Okay?
I'm still confused. How do you get the 12?
He just multiplied.
Hey, look. Mira aquí, por favor.
Made a common denominator.
Not there. The common denominator between 12 and 4. So can I multiply 4 to get a 12?
Yes.
By 3, right?
Yeah.
By 3 on top and 3 on bottom.
Yeah.
What is 3 times pi?
3 pi.
And what is, I know you're not opening that stupid envelope right now, you're paying attention to me because you're talking to me.
Yeah.
So what is 4 times 3?
12.
Thank you. So it's going to be 3 pi over 12.
Yeah.
Now, are they the same denominator?
Yeah, so they stay the same.
So that stays the same. So now it's 5 pi minus 3 pi gives me
2 pi.
2 pi. So 2 pi over 12 reduces to pi over 6. And now pi over 6 is on my unit circle, which will give me 1/2.
But is it really on the unit circle?
Yes it is.
And you can also just
So it depends on where your unit circle is. Yeah, you better ask him nicely. Be like, bruh, I need classes. Okay, so, yes.
you can just put it in the
I know, I'm getting there.
You could have just put the
All right, so let's pretend that I have no clue what I'm doing. That I just played with my phone all semester, and I did not get any math.
You can put it in the calculator.
Let's do it. Okay, so now I'm going to have a student come up here and do this.
Oh, let me do it.
Yes, it is you, because you don't have anything better to do.
Wait, let me do it. I'm the dumb one.
Naro. Eli.
Okay, hold on. Jake, you could do right there.
Huh?
You calm down.
Hold on. Let me. Okay. All right, so here it is. I have a student up here, and the student's going to do it for you. Sine.
you forgot something.
What are you talking about?
There you go. There he is.
So for all those people playing at home, should probably be doing the same thing on your calculator right now, right?
Faster.
Faster.
Go too slow. You're gonna look like Sonic from the movie.
He's got some skinny ass legs for a fast guy.
I was expecting to get fast.
I know.
Some running shit, you know, from watching.
So I know you're plugging into the calculator because
We the best.
practicing plugging into the calculator is key here.
I've become a pro at this, mister.
I know you are doing very good. I appreciate that. And you do pay attention and you do practice and you try very hard.
Pay attention, I don't know about that.
I should not have eaten that pepper.
I pay attention every day.
I did something wrong.
You know I do.
Doc,
It's not in.
It's in.
what's wrong?
Is it a radian?
It's not in radian.
It's not in radian.
There has to be a lady.
What
Make
page
the
am I
phone.
on?
It's so
Okay.
much easier on there.
No. No,
Take out
no,
the
go back down.
Zeros.
Press, no. Press it where the square is.
Go back.
Press right here. Hold on. And now do arrow up one more time. Now hit enter. There we go. There we go. We get 0.5.
Wow.
Yeah, with this
So,
one, you
good
gotta
job.
change it.
Is that fun?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
He doesn't want-
even if you sat and watched Netflix all semester and didn't pay attention and just annoyed the crap out of your teacher, you could still get a good grade on this test.
Just
I'm
like, no.
I'm literally not worried at all.
In like a percentage, how much of this can you do on a calculator?
That's what she said about every.
I say there's 80% is calculator because you need to know. You need to know about 20% of the information because of it's not just this, it's setting it up. It's knowing what types of things to do, okay?
Who's bringing the cologne? Is it because of the cologne?
You good? Okay, Regina.
Does he have any more?
Are you excited to go to camp? It's Thursday.
Listen up, I need your attention up here again, please. I need all your attention. Now, okay, this one is going to be an addition or subtraction. This is on your reference sheet also. Addition or subtraction. So you could use addition or subtraction to find this out using, you know, whatever formula we have. So I'm trying to find sine 15, which goes along with the same type of problem we just did. So I'm going to do sine cosine. So it's going to be, dang it, okay. So it's going to be sine of 45 minus 30. So that's going to give me sine 45 cosine of 30 minus cosine of 45 sine of 30. So sine 45 is rad 2 over 2 times cosine of 30, which is 1/2, minus cosine 45 is rad 2 over 2, and sine 30 is rad 3 over 2. Actually, I got that backwards. Yeah, sorry. Tried to go too quick. I know. I'm sorry. I was still dying right over here. Yes, I was. And there we go. Okay. So now, do my multiplication. I get rad 6 over 4 minus rad 2 over 4, which gives me rad 6 I said 6 and I still wrote 2. So,
6 minus rad 2 over 4.
This is fine.
alright. I heard a wonderful question over there. Can I put this in the calculator?
No.
Yes.
You just put the,
What do I have to do now?
You put sine 15 and then
What?
Put it in radians.
put in degrees.
Degrees. This one's degrees. 15 degrees. So that means you have to identify that you're in radian right now, and we're changing back to degrees.
I said sine 15.
I hate that so much.
I know it says without using a calculator, but guess what?
They
They
can't tell.
don't know.
Did I do it by hand?
Yeah.
Do you have the skill to do it by hand?
Yeah.
Yes, but you might have forgot. Okay, and you have the reference sheet. But then you have a calculator. You have a tool. Use that tool.
Tools were made for a reason.
What are they going to do? Arrest you?
Huh?
So how do we
Wait,
put it?
what?
You tell me.
You just put it on the calculator.
Put sine 15.
Oh, really?
0.2.
Put sine 15.
Wait, rounding it up with two decimals. 0.26.
So you're going to say it's 0.26.
Yeah, rounding up.
And then you're going to enter all those choices. So that means that you're taking the time, especially if you're struggling with this, you're taking the time and verifying and checking all your answers. That guy. Are you okay? Are you entering this in the calculator? Your calculator's off, so that's why.
Those and very few others.
So no matter what, my answer is going to come out to be
C.
sí se puede.
No, but
Okay.
Shut up.
All right, questions? Questions over this? Okay, let's keep going. Okay, this one, you cannot do calculator.
Yes. Why not? There's no such thing.
take it off.
Don't you have to use the blue sheet?
No. Okay, so this has two different angles. It's an angle S and an angle T. So it's an angle S and angle T. So I know that my S, please don't pop the gum. All right, so it says let sine S be 2 over 3. What does sine represent?
Y.
Y over R. So my Y is?
2R is 3 and
R is 3.
equals
And my X,
rad 13.
I gotta use Pythagorean Theorem, don't I? We have to use Pythagorean Theorem to find it. So I'm gonna do that. So X squared plus Y, which is 2 squared, equals
Rad
3 squared. You keep saying the answer, but it's still not correct.
Yeah.
So X squared plus 4 equals 9. So X squared equals 5. X equals plus or minus
Plus or minus.
rad 5. What quadrant is S in?
2.
2.
What quadrant is S in?
2.
2. And I know in quadrant 2, X has to be
Negative.
Thank you. So my X is?
Oh.
You have to pay attention. You can't just do it in your head. It's gonna screw up all your answers.
Well,
Not well.
Shots.
Okay. Now,
This is what we're doing.
a while ago, right? Okay, we actually started doing X, Y's, and R's in chapter 1.
Yeah.
So we've been doing it all year. So at this point, I expect you to know all these.
Know what?
Exactly. All right, so sine of t is equal to negative 1 over 3. So, again, sine is y over r. So what is my y value here?
-1.
Negative 1, right? R is? Why is the negative not go with the 3?
Because R can be negative.
R can't be negative. R is the radius. The radius is not negative, right? R is always going to be positive. Now let's go through and solve for this again. So x is missing. So I'm going to say that x squared plus negative 1 squared is equal to 3 squared.
rad -2.
So x
Plus or minus
squared is equal to, crap, I put equals too soon.
Plus or minus 8.
So plus 1 equals 9. X squared is equal to 8. X equals plus or minus square root of 8. And I'm probably going to have to factor this.
4.
So it's going to be a square root 4 times square root 2, right? What is square root of 4? 2. So this is going to be equal to plus or minus 2 rad 2. Because 8 is square root of 4 times square root of 2, right? And the square root of 2 gives me the 2. And the rad 2 just stays as rad 2. So I have all of this. So now I have all the information. Let's see, 17. I don't know, like some perfume or something got me.
Who sprayed it?
Someone came in with it.
Asshole.
Not me. You. Excuse me?
All right. So, listen please.
I just noticed it's right.
Listen, it's asking for cosine of s minus t. Cosine of...
Equals.
Now, please find it on your reference sheet. Please find it on your reference sheet. Please find that on your reference sheet. Todos los personas en esta clase, please find it on your reference sheet.
Found it.
That's what we found
Cosine
it.
Difference
S
identity.
cosine t minus
So,
sine
this is
derivative
important because if you screw this up,
T.
so the formula is going to be cosine, cosine, cosine s, cosine t, and what symbol goes here?
minus.
Minus.
Plus.
Wait, yeah.
Plus.
Plus.
Sine t. Now I'm going to fill in the information from my previous. Let's fill in the information from the previous. So now, what was cosine from s?
Rad 5 over 3.
Negative rad 5 over 3. What was cosine from t? So it's going to be, let's see, what was it? Was it plus or minus?
I think it was minus.
It's in quadrant 4. Quadrant 4, what the x value in quadrant 4?
Plus.
Positive. It's positive, so I didn't put it up here. 2, rad 2, right?
Oh, no, 3.
So it's going to be 2 rad 2 over 3 plus sine. What was sine from s?
2 over 3.
2 over 3. And sine of t?
Negative 1 over 3.
All right, multiply this, and I'm going to get negative 2 rad 10 over 9 plus, no, that's minus, right? It's going to give me a minus. Minus 2 over 9. So my answer has to be
B.
B. Has to be B.
Has to be ambiguous.
Okay, like I said, there's like 20% of this test you have to know. Some of it you can get away with the calculator.
Most of it.
Only 20% of it? You have to know?
I'm trying to like help you guys out. So if
Oops, sorry. You know what? At least half of that's 1%.
Spit that, spit it out, stupid. He just
okay, listen. Hey,
Why
if you
not?
want,
Every
please
time I
shut
talk to
up.
them, nothing happens.
Okay, I'm trying to encourage you guys, even though I know that some of the stuff might be difficult. So stuff like this would be the #1 stuff that you're gonna have to make sure you're studying, because some of the calculator ones be like, okay, I'm good with the calculator ones, okay, as long as you know how to plug into the calculator and you know what we're doing and you're following along. Okay, this is, I think we've done every single other problem up to this point on the calculator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is the first one that has to be done by hand.
And the other one.
That was 3.
There is 3?
Yeah.
It was
15, 16, and 17.
Not 15.
No,
Boy, no, you
Yeah,
can't.
15, yes.
You were just doing the work for the
We can
float.
plug
Yeah, okay, 16 I did the work, but could we do it with the calculator?
Yeah, that's 10, 14.
But it's faster to do it with the hand. than the
Same thing?
That was
15 on
Yeah.
14.
Okay, so now here's another one. This one right here we had to do by hand, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't hard.
That one too.
That one, so that makes 3 out of the 16 so far that we had to be able to do by hand.
It's just like when you have to convert to what form it is, word.
Yep. So there's certain things that you do have to know and you have to go back over. So if you struggle with those, that's the part to study. Now, let's look at the next one. Because 17 and 18 are using the same information. Now, I want you guys to put your finger on the double angle for sine. Put your finger on the double angle for sine. Trust me, it's on the back of the page. Unless you flip your page, you're not going to see it.
2 sine
So it's going to be sine 2s should be equal to what?
2
Two
sine
sine.
x cosine.
2 sine s,
Cosine.
Cosine S.
2 cosine?
2 sine s cosine s.
Did everyone find that on the reference sheet?
Yeah.
We'll make sure no one actually gave
Top
me the
left.
wrong answer. Yep.
You don't trust this?
Just making sure. All right. So I need to know what sine s is, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be 2 times. What was sine from s? What was it? 2 over 3. What was cosine of s? Negative what?
Third.
Hold on, where are you getting these numbers from?
Yeah.
Where are you getting whatever it is?
17.
Right here.
Oh.
Because it says 17 and 18.
Oh, I would have never noticed that.
So cosine of s is what? Here's s, right? This is s. Cosine is going to be x over r. So it's negative rad 5 over 3.
You should read then. If you would, you would.
Do my multiplication. I'm going to do 4, right?
Yes.
Negative 4 rad 5 over 9. Yes. Yeah, go ahead. So my answer here is
C. So when you multiply stuff by 2, you don't multiply the rad.
you don't, because you treat the rad as if it's a variable. The only time that you would multiply is if I get another rad. So all the coefficients, the numbers in front, will multiply together, and I'd only multiply the radical if I get another radical. Kind of like I did on right here, where I had rad 5 times rad 2. That's when I actually multiplied those. And the 2 was just out front, right?
And then when you get 2 rad numbers that are the same, it just equals the number on the inside, right?
Yeah, because it's basically going to say like rad 5 squared. So rad 5 times rad 5 is rad 5 squared. Or you could think about it like 5 times 5 is 25, right? So rad 25 is just 5. So it gives you the same thing. All right, so my answer was C. All right, now we got to this one right here.
That's B.
What could you do?
Put it in the calculator.
Put it in the calculator, right?
It's D.
So,
No, but that's
now, what has to happen here first though?
Change it to add.
Change it to rad. So everyone do that right now. Change it to rad.
Or you could just force it to degrees.
Wait.
But the problem is you're entering it a rad.
Yeah, I mean, you could turn
No,
it
you
to
can't.
R.
You have to enter it to rad. Otherwise, you're going to have to do a whole bunch more math.
Oh, yeah, that was over.
Change your calculator to rad. Do you notice something that's common going on here?
It's the pot. It's the
We keep
pot.
having to go back and forth in between degree and radian, right?
If there's a pi, it has to be radian.
If there's a pi, it has to be a radian, right?
Yeah.
So, did you change it? Okay, what'd you get?
Negative sign
Check
15.
the time.
It is?
It's literally negative sign 15.
All right, someone tell me what cosine of 7 pi over 12 is.
Negative 0.26.
Negative 0.26.
It's negative sign 15.
Wait a minute, we've seen that somewhere before.
So my answer has to be B, right?
Yeah.
No. It's
I
D.
was
It's
right.
D.
It's D?
Yeah.
It's D.
Okay, it's D.
We said B.
Just shy.
What's that?
Of course.
So is the answer B or D?
D.
Are you guys sure about that?
Yes.
positive?
Yeah.
You wanna look at my calculator?
Did I already check these answers? I checked these answers the other day
Yes,
already. Yeah. And that's what I had on the thing, right?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Yeah, 19D. Yeah.
Yes, it is. So there's no D.
I'm sure my brother answered that.
But you got no D.
All right.
You made a
Let's take a look at the next problem.
little B.
Use identities, the expression, single function of x.
Calculator.
I could do it as a angle addition or angle subtraction, right?
Yes.
Okay. So either I do that. So let's see. So it's going to be sine, cosine, minus. So that's going to be a sine of
40 minus 60.
40 minus 60, which is sine of negative 20. No, that's 160. Oh man. Dang it. Why'd you say 60, bruh? You're messing me up now. Look. Don't you even, because I will back up this recording for that one. Equals negative 120. Sine at negative 120. Negative 120 goes that way. Should put me in quadrant 3.
Negative rad 3 over 2.
Negative rad 3 over 2.
Yeah.
Could I have just plugged it in my calculator?
Yeah, put it in degrees.
Okay, change it back to degrees, make sure it's there, and then check every answer.
It's done.
All right, perform indicated operations and simplify the result. That thing is gone right now.
I got D.
I wonder if you can put a number. This one is calculator too.
This one does not have numbers.
No, if you add a number.
No, it's not going to help.
It works.
Okay, watch this.
We did it before.
All right, do they have common denominator?
Yeah.
Cosine.
So I can combine it. So it's sine squared plus cosine squared over cosine. Now, it's not square on the bottom, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's common denominator. What's sine squared plus cosine squared? 1. 1 over cosine, right? What is 1 over cosine? Secant. Answer C.
The punchline did the gamblers. No, not this one. There was the other one. No, I know. That one's like.
You can't do it like this because there's no equal sign.
Did you guess?
No, actually, no.
You can plug it in, but you're not going to get an answer.
You put D. Oh, did you get an answer?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, that's how I got the answer before.
Oh, you how did we do that again last time? Did we set it equal to each other?
Yeah, yeah, all the number that you put in for beta has to be the same. If you change the number, it won't work.
What is the area with the given measurements? So, on your reference sheet, find area formula. So now I'm going to draw a triangle.
Half R squared.
Hold on. Not that one. A,
Oh, yeah, that one.
B, C, 42.5. Little b is 13.6. Little c is 10.1, right? Now, area formula. I have the A. I have the A, so I have to use that one with the A. So what is that one going to be?
Half,
Area, 1/2,
times B,
B,
times C.
C, and then sine A. Very good. 13.6, 10.1, sine of 42.5 degrees. That means calculator has to be in degrees, right? Yeah. everyone's plugging in right now because actually plugging it in, not just sitting there smiling, think you have all this, and then come test, you come and try to ask me some questions, and I'm going to say, go sit your down, because I am not going to answer anything because you didn't want to actually do this when I said to do it.
B. I already gave you the answer.
What is it?
B.
Because that's what he said. Pick up the calculator.
No.
Yeah, we figured this.
The watch you walk into that one.
I already knew. Like, this guy just sitting there smiling at me, oh, I got this. And then come test time, he always comes and tries to ask me questions.
Actually,
Oh,
that's
I don't
not
know what's
true.
going on.
That's not true.
What's this?
That's
Hey,
not
how do I do this? Hey, Pacho, how do I plug this in the calculator?
That's only okay.
Hey, Pacho, how do I change the settings on this? So my answer is B.
First of all, we should first start using it.
That was last week.
No, I didn't.
Bruh.
I didn't know how to
Bruh.
answer because I didn't do anything before that, and I was.
Yes, you didn't do any of the homework because you just sat there and smiled at me saying, I got this, it's too easy, ask me anything.
I turned in the homework, and no, because I didn't. I was missing too many days for practice last week.
No, you. We can argue about this. I can show you your attendance. You were here for that. Nah, yeah, I'm pretty sure I can call mom too, and she'll agree with me.
Nah.
Yeah, you're right. You don't want me to call mom. All right, so which expression can be used to find the height of the oblique triangle? Okay, so we're trying to find the variable h. So I could do it from A or C. So if I do it from A,
That's just the A plus B.
okay, so now, nope. I'm going to use some old hippie caught another hippie.
Tripping on acid.
There you go, tripping on acid. All right.
So it's tell what?
Okay, so if I want to solve for h, I would say that, let's go with, okay, so it'd be opposite over hypotenuse. So if I'm just doing this one right here, right? So I could do that. So it's going to be sine of A is equal to h over c. What would I do to both sides?
First you're gonna multiply C.
Multiply by c, right? So I'm going to say that h is equal to c sine of A. Man, my pen is not liking me right now. Hey, look, there it is. It just so happened to be the first one I tried. But what if I needed to use B? Could I just say B? Say no. Isn't B the whole thing? Isn't B the entire bottom?
Yeah.
B would be the whole bottom, but if I wanted to try to use that in my ratio, what would I use instead? Half of B, right? Half of B, so, or I'd say with B divided by 2. Okay, that's the way I would do that. I would say B divided by 2. So, either way. So it's about that time?
Yeah, we're going with it.
Okay, good. All right, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification button.